One thing that came to my mind was that you know it's a good day when you wake up. Well, that's about it, actually. Nah, I'm kidding. What's next on the agenda? Earth is governed by the United Citizen Federation. Oh, so you're looking at our game. No, it's the backstory for Starship Troopers. Why? What have you done? Well, we have made a sequel to our game, Helldivers, and called it Helldivers 2. Well, at least you kept it simple and didn't bother adding a tagline, which is about as noticeable as a lamppost before you walk into it. Wait, you made a first one? You play as part of a special military unit called Helldivers, because I can only imagine what you'll be jumping into is the epitome of Satan's bumcrack. Your objective is to spread the glorious message of freedom and democracy by going to foreign lands and annihilating anything and everything that doesn't look like you. Bit like American history. You and your mates arrive by penetrating the targeted planet and elevate out of your pods like you're a participant on a very questionable dating show. The enemies you face are split up into two factions with a third faction in the works. Probably waiting for its crowdfunder to come through, I don't know. The two factions are insects that have been giving TRT some funny looks, and the automatons that make the Terminators look like a group of unprepared Boy Scouts. When the game started up, I was introduced to a propaganda video of the civilization you were about to be indoctrinated in, and it was quite interesting. Until an overgrown cockroach came into frame, because I guess he thought he could do a better job at acting, I guess. The game is really setting a, we don't give a shit, and if that offends you, then you have a tiny todger. And I don't know why, but I sort of enjoyed it. Either because these kind of games are rare, or I have a shame kink. The tutorial consists of you being dropped off a few hundred yards from the training facility, and the game tells you to get a move on, you lazy git. After being motivated to not die during the boot camp by Clancy Brown, the guy from Starship Troopers that shouts, right after slicing a poor fucker's hand off, I quickly realised that your health drops quicker than your mum falling down the stairs in time with the EastEnders theme. I simply walked into the next training area and 5 turrets popped out of the ground and shot me in the face, like some disturbingly patriotic meerkats. Very much a learn fast or die fast approach here, game. And when it wanted to show me how to heal myself, I walked up to a stim vending machine and I was shanked in the face. Game, please stop bullying me. There are plenty of other entities waiting in the wings to forcibly shit down my throat as if it was a welcome mat. I got to the end of the training and the game just said, here are a bunch of steroid-ridden arachnids that want to have a word with you. Like you've just opened up a pest control business. But this is how the game drew me in as I was blasting each limb off their spangly bodies. The guns just have the right kick and feel. Mind you, I was firing from an unreachable elevated position, so something tells me that this training program is not an accurate portrayal of what you signed up for. You are equipped with a primary, secondary, and a special, like parents naming their 3 children, plus any other artillery that your ship can shoot out of your poop chute. Bloody hell, say that 3 times fast. And have it land wherever you have thrown the glowing ball of sort this shit out, please. As far as the gameplay goes, it's actually kind of relaxing if you're on your own, and on the easiest difficulty, that even the game makes you feel like a pussy for choosing. When you do feel confident enough to go onto the harder difficulties, you'll have more regret than drinking a whole bottle of rum before a wedding ceremony. Stress doesn't even begin to sum it up. As you increase the difficulty, the enemies get bigger, meaner, and of course awfully inconvenient. So it's best to be prepared before starting a mission. Choosing the right weapons, equipment, orbital bombardments, and 3 Muppets to join you on your suicide mission, which is coincidentally a difficulty mode. But I haven't reached that yet, since you need to complete missions on easier difficulties to unlock harder ones, and gradually work your way up, which is quite reasonable of a video game. It's like a parent telling their child to stop drinking that bucket of lead paint. If you're going to squad up, I would suggest playing with people that have mics, or any sort of communication no shorter than a letter delivered by the Royal Mail 3 days later. Because I tried playing with silent teammates, but it was an absolute ball ache trying to work together, as you all walk off in 4 different directions from the drop-off point, like a pack of starving dogs in the middle of a butcher's shop. On top of that, you can damage each other, which can be funny with your mates, but after a few times this was going to be a very productive evening of shouting until my vocal cords decide to call it a day. But when you are with randoms, anger levels reach unknown heights as I sigh heavily before leaving the mission and fucking over the host, as if Come Dine With Me has seriously gone downhill. Yes, I'm that guy. If you're going to kill me every time I respawn because I have better gear than you, then I kindly invite you to sod off. I only went through this once, however. Most of the community have the same mindset. We all want to get through this shit show, so don't be a cunt. As for the extras of Bug's Life and the Arnolds, they have abilities that require different preparations. The bots have ranged attacks, while the bugs like to get up close and personal, which isn't ideal in any situation that life throws at you. So you need to be smart. I use the flamethrower on the bug planets, because as far as I know, they kill even the most heavily armoured enemies. eventually. You just need to keep covering them in the Vietnam War scenery while simultaneously not setting you or your squad mates on fire and start reenacting the original concept of Roman candles. As for the bots, I would try closing the gap and getting the jump on them wherever possible. Since the more space you leave between you and them, you may as well set up a lemonade stand and ask if they got any grapes, because that's the only good bit of use you'll get out of that situation. Also, when using your artillery, remember to throw it further than you think you'll need to, because even that will blow your socks off like your colon after a curry and beer night. So use them wisely, take out groups of enemies before they spot you, or try and get lucky and land a shot on one of the big boys, because using them for anything else is just a fucking waste. Also, bring a turret, specifically for when you have to wait for your ship to pick you up, and you end up ringing the dinner bell for a free buffet. For your ship upgrades, you need to collect samples, which is fine since you encounter them on every mission you go on, but it gets bloody depressing after you collect a large amount only for them to evaporate because your squad mate detonated a nuke and forgot to mention it. Like he forgot to flush a public toilet and leaves you to clean up the mess. The game does have something that's similar to a battle pass, however, which made my skin crawl, to be honest, like when someone scratches their nails on a chalkboard. But then I figured out you pay for the items using medals that you acquire for, guess what? Playing the fucking game! I know this sounds like I've just discovered fire for the first time in my little cave, but it's just refreshing to see a game do this. I think Helldivers 2 is alright in my books. Working together with your squad, watching each other's backs has quite a sentiment ring to it, and showcases what a co-op game is capable of. Unless you want a bug to chef you in the arse, of course. I don't judge. The upgrades for weapons and your ships are a bit grindy, sure, but it's not take half of your life grindy. It's quite respectable, like eating a nice chicken club sandwich in which someone hasn't tricked you by swapping out the mayonnaise.